Hello everybody, I'm Krasi, and today I will talk about a very interesting, pleasant celestial event, and this is the heliacal rise of Mercury, which means that Mercury becomes visible. Mercury until 21st of November will be hidden in the rays of the sun and also a retrograde. And 7 days before that, he is preparing for his visibility, Mercury, and at one point will become visible as a morning star. Mercury will become visible as a morning star. And his particular heliacal rise as a morning star is very interesting this time. It's always interesting, but now it's especially interesting because it is becoming visible in the vicinity of a star from the crown constellation in the sidereal Libra, and this star is called Gamma. So Mercury is actually becoming visible, shining over this particular star Gamma. So on the 21st of November, Mercury becomes visible in the 17 degrees of sidereal Libra. And already 7 days before that, he is preparing for his visibility. Well, we know Mercury is ruling our creative mind, Mercury is ruling the commerce. Of course, this is going to have immediate impact on the shares, on the markets. There will be awakening, but also there will be some sort of unpredictability because Mercury is becoming visible in the same sign with with Mars. Mars will be in the 7 degrees of Libra at the moment of the heliacal rise of Mercury, and this is going to have some impact, Martian impact. I will explain you about this in a second. So he's preparing for his invisibility in the 22nd degrees of Libra on the head of the snake. You know, you have Ophiuchus in the sky, Asclepius, Ophiuchus, and he's holding a snake. And on the head of the snake, Mercury is already preparing to become visible. This will be while he's still retrograde, 7 days before his visibility. And this is very interesting because it is related to all that this snake means in the hands of Ophiuchus, in the hands of Asclepius. It is about healing. It will bring knowledge and awakening and new information and new illumination, or you name it, to people who are engaged into healing, into secret studies, sciences, all related to the knowledge of Ophiuchus about healing, chemistry, medications. And he is preparing to this Mercury as a morning star, which would say that we will see Mercury slightly before the sun rises on the eastern horizon. And this particular degree, while he's preparing to rise, are degrees of purity, of pleasure, of knowledge, of eloquence. So this heliacal rise is happening for good. And then at the moment when he's turning direct, in the 21st of November, in this very moment, he is becoming direct and visible in the 17 degrees in the vicinity of Gamma, the star from the crown. The crown is crowning us. The crown is something that is giving visibility, opportunities. It is for luck. It makes those who will be born at that moment will be lucky. They will be crowned. They will be having a lot of opportunities in their lives, knowledge, wealth, just name it. Of course, depends on other factors. But this is particular heliacal rise of Mercury is very nice. Now we cannot forget that Mars is there. When Mars and Mercury are together, even though the conjunction is not very tight, but still when Mars and Mercury are together, take it, when you see this in a natal chart, oftentimes people were having issues with their speech, language skills. often they can be accused by others in saying wrong things, or often they can be misunderstood. This is about especially when the conjunction is very tight, but also in this case, this would say that we may need to watch out. We may not be very impulsive, and we may need to be very well prepared when we will be presenting our speech or presenting our knowledge to others. We need to avoid this possible Martian impulsiveness that is fact when Mars and Mercury are together. Now, Mercury in Libra, let's not also forget that Libra is the sign which is about design, creating beauty, a craft work. It is about also exact sciences. We know that this is the hidden place of Saturn. And Mercury in Libra also receives these beautiful Venus-like features. And let's also not forget that for some parts of the world, just very soon, in October, Venus became visible also in Libra. So somehow this sign, this constellation was given importance through the rise of Venus for some parts of Europe, not for America, not for Australia, but still it is the sign of Venus. And now Mercury becomes visible also in the sign that is ruled by Venus. And so at that moment, Venus is not very, very highly dignified because she will be in the last degrees of Scorpio. However, here another very interesting thing is that at the moment of the heliacal rise, the first visibility of Mercury, he is creating also harmonious aspect with Saturn, but also with Ketu. And in this very moment, Jupiter is preparing to disappear in the rays of the sun, to hide in the rays of the sun. So nothing is happening without a reason. When Jupiter is disappearing in the rays of the sun and Mercury is becoming visible from the rays of the sun, and this is happening almost simultaneously, this is something that we need to think about. It's like, what would this be meaning? What would this denote? So what is the Jupiter, while Jupiter is preparing to his heliacal disappearance in the rays of the sun, we're lacking his gorgeous support and blessing, divine blessing. His nature is changed. Look at my other video if you like. I'm explaining in detail about Jupiter. But since he's disappearing at the moment when Mercury is appearing, we should pay attention to this, because we should be careful not to deviate from moral values, not to deviate from our lofty ideals, if you want. This is something very important. We may be lacking the direct and visible support by Jupiter while he will be hiding in the rays of the sun. However, this is a very, very beautiful event, and it's also happening in the moment when also the moon is entering a sign ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is quite well emphasized. And also, Mercury is in the ancient Babylonian mythology. Mercury is the god Nabu, and he's the one who is holding the tablets with the destinies of each one of us. He's having the tablets with the knowledge. He's the one who created the writing system. So it is about eloquence. It is about talents, craftsman's work. It's about all those things that I already listed. But what is this going to mean for each one of us? Mercury is rising in the sign of Libra, and it is beautiful when you will be having, not on the day of his appearance, because then the moon is waning. So this may not be very, very appropriate timing to launch a new website or to launch new educational project, commercial project, but wait after the first lunar crescent will be visible, which will be, I will tell you when, but we may use for good the short period of the visibility of Mercury in our benefit, like launching something that is media-like, or something that is about about speech and knowledge, starting to study, or starting important negotiations and important travel. And this can be with the first lunar crescent on the 28th of November, but not before that, because before that, the moon was waning and not good for new initiatives. However, a big bracket I want to open: make use of Mercury and his beauty, because we don't see Mercury every day on the sky. You have to know that only approximately 7% of the people have Mercury visible in their charts, and these are the highly intellectual people who are having very good mental and creative capabilities. But we should not forget, it is very fine to benefit from his heliacal rise, but not to forget that Mars is approaching him more and more. So on the 28th of November, when the moon is going to be visible for the first time, which is brilliant because she's then very potent and very new and very young and very helpful, and she's going to be conjoined with Venus. So this is very nice. But at the very same moment, Mars is in the 12th degrees of Libra and Mercury is in the 22nd degrees of Libra. This is conjunction, not a very tight conjunction, but the Martian influences are there. So if you will be launching something that is Mercury-like, which would be starting your website or starting your YouTube channel or publishing something, keep in mind for this small but not minor detail, which is that Mars is with Mercury. And as I told you, this can create speech issues. And oftentimes in the charts, the more you see this the tighter this conjunction is, the more issues people may have with their speech or with the way others understand them. Therefore, if you will benefit from this aspect on the sky, which is brilliant, still keep in mind that you have to be very well prepared and make sure that you look at every single detail that can create speech issues or misunderstandings. And also, we should also not forget that Venus is there to make beautiful aspect, but Jupiter is preparing to disappear from the sky, and we are also lacking his brilliant blessing. This particular aspect on the sky can be very good for initiatives that you don't like, short-term initiatives, like to negotiate and not aim at really long-lasting projects that you will expect to be something that you want to do for years, but for publishing an important video or launching or starting studies could be fine, but something that will be about new businesses, new commercial projects, look at their durability. So this was to explain you also this Mercury in Libra, becoming visible in the crown, in Gamma, in the vicinity of Gamma, is wonderful to create art, really design, art. Those of you who have such talents, try and see what kind of wonderful results you may have, especially if you have Libra on a key position, Libra rising, Libra midheaven, Moon, Libra, Sun, Libra, Descendant, Libra, Ascendant, Aries. I'm talking about sidereal coordinates, which are the only astronomical ones. So this is something, I'm giving you good news, I think, and this is something really nice that is happening on the sky. Of course, I can tell you that I've been searching for a beautiful date to make Mercurian talismans, but no, it's not appropriate because of the Martian influences and because I'm really waiting for the moment when Mercury is in his own sign and becomes heliacally visible. And this is happening in May 2020 because Mercury is becoming visible in his own sign, and I'm grabbing this moment with his first appearance when he's very, very powerful, and only then I will be able to make. I've been waiting for a very long time, but in May 2020, I will be making powerful Mercurian talismans, and not before. It's been, I think, 2 years that I've been waiting for a very good astrological timing. And now in Libra, he's trining his own sign. He's having beautiful dignities. I could have benefited from this timing, but not because Mars is there. So it didn't work. So I hope this was useful for you. Benefit the way you can imagine, the way you need from this particular heliacal rise of Mercury. And it is important, and it is certainly good, and it is certainly blessing. So thank you for your attention, and your comments are welcome.